Hello, and I am Neil Anderson. I am a current student in MA 124, and I would like to talk to you guys today about subsets. Now, in order to understand what a subset is, the first thing we need to know is what a set is. So, a set is a collection of objects made of specific elements of numbers. Now, it can be numbers, it can also be things pertaining to like different letters, things like that. And that's what we're going to go over a little bit today, of as far as what a subset is. But a subset is actually a set that is within a set already. So we're going to go over here, and when we're looking at it, say we have the numbers, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just go to 6. We don't have to go all the way to 10. But if we wanted to say, okay, well, this is a set, it would look like this. So we'll go and do that. And then we want to say, okay, well, what is a set of this so this is a set. So what is a subset of this set? And let's say we are looking for a subset that includes all of the even numbers of that set. So a subset would look like this, being that these are the even numbers within there. So we have 2, 4, and 6. So that is a subset of the set that we already have. So I'm just going to put the definition up at the top here, and I'll get that in just a second here. So give me a second while I write this out here. Yeah, I spelled elements wrong. But so like I said, it can be anything. So when we're taking a look at, and sometimes people don't realize that we do this. So when we say, okay, like for example, a school has different sports, and we'll be getting into this later, but let's take one sport and say, okay, well, we have basketball. So we know we have a girls and a boys team. Well, we know that a subset of that is, okay, there's a girls team, and that's one subset of it, and then the other subset would be that, hey, there's a girls team as well. And so when we're looking at this, there's one thing that we're leaving out that could be also a possible subset, and that is something called the empty set, which actually contains no elements of the set itself that we originally began with. So I actually have some problems that we're going to go over here today. And so this is going to be our first problem. We say one school has chosen to have 7 different sports at the school. The 7 different sports are as follows. So number 1, we have basketball. 2, we have volleyball. 3, we have tennis. 4, we have golf. 5, we have soccer. And 6, we have track. And then last but not least, we have swimming as 7. So how many different subsets do we have of this? Now, this is a little bit of a longer problem as we start to break this down. So we could say, for one example, a subset of this, and we're only going to list off 4 subsets. So one subset of this that we have is basketball, and we can have golf be in that group. We can also have soccer be in that group. And we'll say that that's the end of that set, or subset. Okay, so that's one subset that we have. It doesn't include everything within the set, but it includes parts of the original set. We can also have, for our second subset, we could say that we have tennis. And let me put brackets around that real quick. And that can just be one. And then we also talked about the empty subset. So what the empty subset looks like is it just looks like this. So we just had the brackets, and we're going to label this real quick. We'll say that, look at that. We got an arrow right there. This is the empty set. So this is our empty subset that we have within this problem. And then our last one, we'll say that we have track, we have tennis, and that can also be a set or a subset of that set. So that is kind of what that looks like as far as that goes. So then we'd say, okay, well, we listed off the 4 subsets, and obviously there's more subsets within there. You can just have basketball, like you can go through each sport and just say like this is a subset of the original set. Our last one, we're gonna break things down a little bit more, and so we say we have shoe sizes of the basketball team that the school has, and so this is for the boys basketball team, and it says now how many subsets are there for the different shoe sizes of the basketball team. And when we're saying how many sets, we're going to break the sets down into 4, and that being because we want the shoe sizes to be grouped in increments of 3. All right, so we have total 4 different sets, and so it's going to go 5 through 7. So we have like this, and that's one of our sets. And I messed up on the brackets here. The brackets are still supposed to look like this. That does not change. And they kind of look like a backwards 3 if you notice, or kind of like pointed out. It looks kind of weird, or like an S, like 2 S's connected together. So that's one set that we have. Our set B, we have 8. We have 9, and then we have 3 10s included in that. So we got that right there. Okay. And then we're going to go down to C, and that includes 11 twice. All right. And then 12 and 12 and finally 13. And then D, we have 14 and 15. Now everything all these sets or all these subsets that we have created come from here, okay? And then when we go to look at it, we're going to take a look and say, well, how many players have a shoe size in subset C? So our subset C, we have 2 11s, we have 2 12s, and then 1 13. So in our subset C, we have 5 players. Okay, and that's kind of what we look at as far as subsets go. So as I was doing this and trying to learn myself, there's a couple things that I found to be challenging and things that I need to work on and get used to. So we understand kind of the main ideas behind the subsets, but something that I struggled with personally was keeping up with the empty subset, because it's not something you see visually. It's just something that's there. And so, like we said, the empty subset is a subset that contains no elements at all. So that was something that I had to kind of get used to. And one of the things that I started to do, and I can actually show you here, is when I was like having a problem like we have right here, what I would do at the end after I'd written it all out, I would just go like this and leave a space blank. That way that I know there is a empty set there that is also a subset. So kind of taking that and remembering that, putting that in the back of my brain, trying to remember. And so that was something that was difficult for me. That is one thing that I would suggest for you guys to do as you continue or take a look into getting into this class, And as you are working your way through this class, is remembering to add that blank spot in the subset or the set itself. That way, when you go to write out a subset, you can also include like, hey, there's an empty set right here, because there's nothing there. Really, really big and important in this class. Keep up with the homework. Know your terminology as far as subsets go, set, what a empty set is, because it can also be referred to as a null set, which is the same thing, and that doesn't change. But I hope this tutorial was good for you guys. I hope it helps, and I definitely appreciate you guys taking your time to watch and listen to this video. Have a great day. See you later.